Wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about today. I know the last day, yesterday at least, wasn't planned at all and was a bit, well, I think it turned out a bit ramblingy nothingness. But I've just had a thought. I want to be an author. Well, actually, my specific aim in life is to be a nonsense writer, like Edward Lear was in Victorian times. Except in this world we live in nowadays, there never seems to be a need for nonsense because everything is doom and gloom or bad romance. It bores me to tears. Just that area of life. Doom, gloom, bad romances. And I don't mean ones that are doomed to fail. I mean the ones that are either so cliché you feel sick just reading them, or the ones that you read and you're like, this is high school stuff. This is kids playing in the playground and you're writing about adult stairs. That seems to be the main things I see about in the world today. Films and books with things like that happening in, and I'm not saying that for all of the books. I'm sure there are plenty of books and plenty of phantoms, and I know for a fact about the phantoms actually, and plenty of things where the romances in them are lovely. But I miss being a child. I've never wanted to grow up, and I've kind of become an adult without ever meaning to. Without actually intending to. Oh my god, I've grown up. So I don't see the world in a who's dating who sense. Because, seriously, I got over that in like year 11 when we had a friend who was very strict in how he expected couples to act. Can't remember why. I was in one of those couples. Didn't like the rules. I think I mentioned that a few days ago. But then I kind of went off these wild ideas of romance. Though I do love Lizzie Bennet and Mr. Darcy, because they argue a lot, and arguing's something I love, anger is something I hate. Work that one out. But no, I want to make a world like Edward Lear's nonsense world, and that isn't all sweetness and light and innocence, but there's very little romance in it. The most romantic things in it are actually estranged relationships, or relationships where, hang on, we've just decided to live our entire lives atop a wall because we're scared to work out how to get down. Seriously, those are the two things that jump into my mind when I think romantic relationships and Edward Lear. The Don with the luminous nose who lost his jumpy girl, and Mr. and Mrs. Discobolos. And yes, I have read all of Edward Lear's works that I can read. And I wrote my dissertation on them. Probably have it somewhere over there if you want me to bring any of it out. Don't really want to bring it out. It probably wasn't the best written. But I want to create a world like that. And I have created a world like that. But now I find myself needing to rename it because I created a world like that with my best friend when I don't know when we started creating this world. It was called Bethany Planet, and I love Bethany Planet with its Rowan moon, and I'm sure there was Orion something. Can you tell we were close? I was close with her family. Rowan's her sister, and Ryan's her brother. And from the amount that we hung out with them when I went round her house, or when we all went swimming, they were included in Bethany Planet. We created quite a few creatures for it too, and I'm slowly creating more, and creating more ideas for this world of nonsense that I'm hoping to create. But I don't want it to be all sweetness and light, but I do need new names for it, because Bethany, my best friend, made a very good point the other day, that if I'm the one creating it and writing about it, I'm the one who can name everything, and calling it Bethany Planet gives her some of the credit. And yes, she does get some of the credit for some of the creatures that might turn up in it, if I ever get round to creating this world. But some of the credit, lots of the credit, will be me and my notebooks and my insanity, and quite possibly whatever videos I make about it. Now I'm very, very confused over what names to use, and I've been confused for weeks over what names to give my people, the people of the planet, because I don't want them to be just plain humans. But then again, in Edward Lear, you have Drumblies, you have Pobbles, you have Dongs, you have Quangle Wangles. I still don't know, after reading them and discussing them, though I did focus on death, whether these are all races of people, people from different countries, or different creatures, different beings. But so I get to make my own world up like that, and I am so excited about it, and so excited about this all. But finding names for these places, these people, I mean, I need, from a story I told a little boy a week or two back, mainly because he asked for a story about my planet, I need to be working on a name for a blue forest, where everything's blue, because science on my planet does not work the same as Earth, so everything's coloured oddly, and I love it. I decided a few nights ago that you sew yourself everywhere. I don't know how that works, but it's a nonsense word, it doesn't have to make sense. But you go stitch by stitch and sew yourself to places. I like the idea of it. Gonna use it. Well, that's a brief discussion of my nonsense place, and thoughts going around it, and Edward Lear. Bye.